Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we are decoding the rapidly evolving state of Central and Eastern European venture capital. Listen, the era of pure hype, yeah, that is completely over. Instead, we're diving straight into an era of ROI-driven deep tech. We've synthesized the absolute most crucial insights from the latest reporting so you can see exactly where the smart money is moving right now. Let's get right into it.
Let's kick things off with a massive hook. 12 million euros. That's the amount recently raised by Prague's Volca AI. And you know what makes this number absolutely wild? They secured this massive pile of funding before they even fully built their product. They're focusing on real-time interactive video and digital avatars for sports, but man, a check of this size, this early, it is literally turning heads all across the continent.
Because here is the kicker. That 12 million euros, that was just a pre-seed round. Literally the earliest possible stage of funding. Just to put that into perspective for a second, founders in the CEE ecosystem usually have to fight tooth and nail just to secure that kind of money at Series A, which, usually comes way later when a company is already scaling and proven. Yet, Volca AI, they locked it down right out of the gate.
And this brings us to a really core signal. Investors like Rockaway Ventures, J&T Ventures, and Tensor Partners are fundamentally changing their behavior. They are actively backing technically ambitious bets earlier than ever before. So if you're a founder sitting there waiting for that perfect moment to raise capital, consider this your wake-up call. The appetite for bold tech is absolutely there.
Moving on to Section 1, fewer checks, bigger expectations.
So let's look at the slightly uncomfortable truth of the macro market. Now, on paper, things look fantastic, right? A super solid 3.6 billion euros was raised across the region. But the total deal count dropped to just 1,034. What this means is the pool of money is deep, but investors are writing far fewer checks. They're writing much bigger checks, sure, but to way fewer founders. Basically, quality is fundamentally beating quantity right now.
And wow, there is a massive disparity here. Check this out. The CEE region captures just 5.5% of the total European venture capital market. Why is that so shocking? Because roughly 1/3 of Europe's entire population lives in this region. The disproportion between the massive local talent pool and the capital they actually capture is just staggering. Translating that data gives us a pretty stark reality. The old era, the days of raising money on a vague idea and a flashy pitch deck promising to figure out the business model later, yeah, that playbook is completely dead. Founders have got to adapt to a rigorous new environment where execution and a crystal clear pathway to revenue are demanded from day one. No exceptions.
Which brings us to Section 2. Show me the AI money.
Look, there is absolutely no denying the total dominance of artificial intelligence in the market right now. AI accounts for a whopping 62% of the total venture capital deal value across all of Europe this year. It's basically swallowing the lion's share of the funding landscape. The hype is incredibly real, and the capital is just flowing heavily in this direction. But here is the massive reality check that goes right alongside all that hype. An incredible 95% of generative AI pilots in the enterprise sector still fail. Just let that sink in for a second. Despite capturing 62% of the funding, almost all enterprise implementation attempts are currently falling flat on their faces. Because of that massive 95% failure rate, investors in the CEE region are completely done financing mere visions. Cool tech demos, they just aren't cutting it anymore. Investors are demanding proof of financial return, and they want to see that ROI in a matter of months, not years. It's all about speed to value. If you are building an AI product today, you absolutely must be able to clearly articulate your value proposition using hard numbers. Like, if you can't tell an investor exactly how much money your tool saves a customer in a specific time frame, you don't necessarily have a technology problem. You have a story problem. You're just failing to narrate your actual business value. But hey, it isn't all failure rates. To see some actual high-level execution happening right now, look no further than Prague-based startup Evola AI. They just completed what's being recognized as the very first European M&A transaction, meaning, the complex process of one company buying another, led entirely by an AI-native advisory. Let's break down exactly what happened here. White Pearl Technology Group acquired two CEE digital marketing agencies, CreateX and Native Digital. And the incredible part, Evola AI ran the entire process. Almost nobody in the broader tech press even noticed this massive milestone, but it is undeniable, rock-solid proof that local tech can deliver real, complex corporate execution at the very highest levels. All right, moving to Section 3,
Local funds, real milestones.
So JIC, the innovation agency from Brno, just launched JIC Ventures. This is a brand new fund targeting 16.3 million euros, specifically designed to back pre-seed and seed stage startups right here in the region. They're planning to write checks up to €1 million each, funding around 20 startups over 4 years, and they are laser focused on deep tech and software as a service. Guys, this is a huge win for founders who want to stay and build locally instead of packing up and begging for capital in London.
Finally, Section 4, the storytelling deficit.
The glaring issue for this region is really not a lack of good companies. The region is packed with incredible tech and top-tier engineers. The actual problem is that founders are keeping their heads down, completely focused on building, leaving absolutely zero time for PR. Nobody is telling their stories. And as we just discussed with the AI sector, if you can't tell your story effectively, the capital simply won't flow to you. It's that simple.
The capital's clearly out there, right? It's just waiting for the right pitch and the right proof of ROI. So the final provocative challenge for you is this. Who is going to step up and change the narrative? The talent is absolutely here, the local funds are emerging, but the storytelling has got to catch up. Will the CEE region finally claim its rightful share of the European market, or will these brilliant founders remain Europe's best-kept secret? Thanks for watching this explainer, and we will catch you next time.